Hi family, This is Mo with Moya Body Care and Colon Hydrotherapy, and I am your favorite colon hydrotherapist that practices the art of internal detoxification through the use of colon hydrotherapy, herbs, and natural living. And today's conversation with your favorite colon hydrotherapist, I'm going to be reading just a little bit of an excerpt from this book. This is one of my favorite books. It's a very old book by Dr. Norman Walker, and this is one of my first books in my library when I became a colon therapist well over 16 years ago. So I want to read this to you. This is chapter 11, and it's talking about what happens to your body when you neglect your colon. Okay, so it starts off with saying your body is your own responsibility. Do you know that today there are only or more than 1 million people in the United States who have failed to use colon irrigation, have had their colon unnecessarily amputated or sections of it removed? As long as they live, they will never have any control over whatever their bowel movements eliminate. Would you like to be in that predicament? Would you like to have your evacuation take place in a bag hanging day and night on your waist? If by accident or carelessness the bottom of the bag should open up or leak, the ghastly result is an embarrassing, filthy mess all down your leg, your foot, and on the floor. It can happen. It has happened. So a lot of people don't know. I don't normally talk about this aspect of my training, but I am a trained and licensed state of California phlebotomist. I can draw blood from a turnip, straight up. I can get blood from anywhere, and I can get it. I love the hard sticks. I love the difficult sticks. I was the person you would go to for the adolescent sticks and all that good stuff. Like, if you have a vein and you're bleeding, and you have blood, not if you're bleeding, I can get that blood into a tube, right? So I worked at a methadone treatment center, believe it or not, and I learned a lot in that space. But one of my clients there, while I was at the methadone treatment center, was a young man who had a colonoscopy bag. And he got flagged for drug testing. So I did the drug testing at this office, and then I also did the blood draws, and I also did the oh my goodness, I've been out of that field for so long. The TB shots, the TB tests. I administered those, and then I monitored those. So I did a little bit of that on the side of the medical field, right? And so I had a client who had a colonoscopy bag on the side of his waist, of course, and he was in a wheelchair. His story was very, very traumatizing just to listen to the story. Nonetheless, to see him, it was very jarring to see his physical body. And so I learned a lot about that in regards to how I respond to people who are in very difficult medical situations, right? I've learned that I have a knack for making these individuals feel very comfortable. And so he got flagged for drug testing, meaning that I needed to have him pee in a urine cup. That's not going to happen because his urine comes through to a bag, and then his fecal matter goes through another bag. So, and I already knew this. I already knew it. And so when I approached him, he immediately went into like this shell. He was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I don't want you doing it. Like, you cannot do this for me. Like, send the man in. And I'm like, well, why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? And I'm thinking skill set wise, like, he doesn't know me. I am new. I've only been, at that point, I was only there for like less than 8 months. So he probably doesn't know me or whatever. And I was like, oh, no, I'm totally capable. So I started explaining my position, and he's like, I'm gonna stop you, love. He said, you're beautiful. And I looked at him and I was just like, okay. He was like, I've been checking you out since you've been here. He's like, I don't want you seeing this part of me. So I kneeled down at his side and I said, sir, It would be a complete honor to be of service to you in the highest light possible. I said, what we can do, I can will you into the other room. I can close the door so we can have some privacy, and I can go ahead and make the deposit into the sterile cup very, very quickly, cover it up, and then go back. And so it would be very, very simple and easy. And so we did that. And when I went to go get the urine, I had to clean up. So when you have a colonoscopy bag attached to you, you need to clean the area, just like how you would clean any wound, because there's an open hole between the outside of the body and the inside of the colon. So there's a hole there so that they can screw in the bag. Well, you have to clean that every day. Because he's on the street, because he was doing meth, he doesn't have the proper tools to clean. So it was a lot of, I had to clean it properly. I'm getting all teary-eyed. So I cleaned both and everything, the urine and the waste colostomy bag. So I cleaned it up. I got the urine. I cleaned him up a little bit too, because there was a little bit of a smell there. So I cleaned him up really, really quick. No ego based, just all pure love and all that good jazz. I got the urine, got the sample. He passed the test. He hadn't did any drugs in a while, which was super cool. And from that point on, when he came in to dose for his methadone, he only would get it from me. He's like, if Mo was not here, I'm not dosing. So it was really, really cool. And it was bittersweet after I no longer worked there. And he was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, you're going to keep living. You're going to keep thriving. You're going to share and train the next person like you trained me. I said, you trained me to be of service to you. So you're going to do the exact same thing to the next person. So basically what I'm saying is this. Health and wellness is a choice. You don't have to have fibroid cystic tumors. You don't have to be constipated. You don't have to be in pain. You don't have to experience any of that. Health is a choice. Health is your responsibility. If you want to get better, if you want to get well, you totally can. All you have to do is get still and breathe and look at everything that's happening in your life, and then approach the right person, the right practitioner to bring you back into guidance. But in essence, health is your responsibility. So you are responsible for everything that you've been putting in your mouth. Everything you've been putting in your mouth, you are responsible for. I wanted to read a couple of more things to you. Oh, I'll read this to you. He kind of gave you a synopsis of like cost. Now, this book was written in 1979, 1 year after I was born. This book is as old as I am. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is what he says. He said the special colonoscopy bags cost presently $70 to $125 for 30 bags. If you were to use one bag a day, which many do, the cost would be from about $850 to $1,500 a year as long as you live. You won't be able to go anywhere unless you have a supply of bags to take with you. The likelihood of not being able to get a bag would create a nightmare. Why would you want to create such a dependency when you don't have to, right? The key to health is to keep it simple. Keep your diet simple. Drink water, rest, have boundaries, breathe. It's very simple, very, very simple. So with that information, I'm going to continue. I'm going to lay back down on my PEMF mat. You see my beautiful pyramids in the background. I love it. Every now and then I got to come upstairs and just get loved up on for me personally. But I do have clients all day long, so I'm going to go ahead and lay back down for like 10 more minutes, and I got to get back downstairs. So with that information, mucho, be best, mucho besos, and be blessed. Let me say that. And you know how to reach me. My website, Moya, Moya, bodycare.com. Until then, be blessed.